Yo, king of the urban jungle, a lion that can't be tamed. When writing my pen's a pilot, I'm flying up in a plane. Breathing is like the wind, crying is like the rain. Fire without the flames, no driving on my terrain. That's the four elements, the science that is explained. Avatar, battle bars, they like but not entertained. Thoughts climbing up in my brain, rhyming in different lanes. I get better with age, the timing is so insane. Why did I miss the train? It's cool, I'll get the next one. Things happen, I don't really need to stress, son. Zeps and flying steps, Timmy got the best drums. If this song's a chicken cutlet, then he's like the breadcrumb. Yes, I'm murdering tracks, and the DEA is listening. They heard that it's crack. All the mumble rappers trapping and they serving them crap. It's kinda crazy, they prefer that it's whack. You see, this beat was produced by a b-boy, top rock with the boogie and breaks. That is why it makes me sing with the rhythm and the swing, and you're moving to the super fat bass. You see, this beat was produced by a b-boy, top rock with the boogie and breaks. That is why it makes me sing with the rhythm and the swing, and you're moving to the super fat bass. Yo, look at this cat, I'm a leopard without the spots. Brooklyn is back, I'm a specialist on the block. Cause I'm hooking up snacks and the recipe that I got is excellent in the pot or a pressure cooker that's hot. If you feel you wanna learn a good lesson, then you should watch all my videos. See how professionals really rock, yeah. I'm a specimen of the hop with the hip and a little bit extra sprinkled on top. Write rhymes in my nice pad, sweet apartment. Dip the feather in the ink and I reach for parchment. Titanic precinct, no police department. Love these beats so much that they leave my heart wrenched. But the listeners deserve it, in fact. Lazy musician, man, what kind of person is that? All the mumble rappers trapping and they serving them crap. It's kinda crazy, they prefer that it's whack. You see, this beat was produced by a b-boy, top rock with the boogie and breaks. That is why it makes me sing with the rhythm and the swing, and you're moving to the super fat bass. You see, this beat was produced by a b-boy, top rock with the boogie and breaks. That is why it makes me sing with the rhythm and the swing, and you're moving to the super fat bass. Shouts to all the b-boys and the b-girls across the world. This whole dance community that I fell into kind of turned me into a better MC. I used to just be a rapper. I went to Norway, started hosting dance battles, and here I am, a true MC. Thank you Soul Sessions, thank you Urban Moves, thank you Battle of the South, thank you all the festivals, all the people that let me host and rock. And again, the B-Boys for keeping that culture alive. It's worldwide, it's global, there's nothing you can do about it. It's probably gonna be in space, it's probably in space right now. Alien B-Boys, jumping around on planets, doing all kinds of silly moves, and then we get to have a galactic B-Boy championship where it's like Jupiter aliens versus Earth humans. It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, catch you guys later.
Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully my voice is going out there into radio land. I think it is.
Radio.
Talk a little bit so I can see if I got the...
Check. 1, 2, check. That's it.
It's on. It's one of those. It's one of those.
Just turn them both up.
Yeah, it's either 3 or 4.
Let me scream in the room. You can hear me.
I guess that one's 3. I think that's definitely 2 over there.
Yeah, that's one.
Can you still hear it?
Yes, I hear it.
Okay. I was right the first time.
Yep.
It was 4. Lucky number 4. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me today. Sirius P, Detroit.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, always. Like I was just saying, you're supposed to be my co-host, but
Crazy schedule.
Your schedule didn't allow for that.
Right.
So now you just gotta co-host every once in a while.
Yeah, I love it.
Hi, everybody out there watching. So, just wanted to come on today and talk about some stuff. Wednesdays I've dedicated to just discussing stuff because I like to. Why not? When I originally had an idea for a podcast, that's what it was going to be in its entirety. So, figured I'd work it in at least once a week.
Yeah.
But you just came from Crunch.
Yes, crunching it in, crunching my schedule for everything.
If you guys didn't know, he is a personal trainer. So if you want to look like him, hit him up.
You know, or you want to look better than me, hit me up. I know some things.
You know, stuffs and things.
Stuffs and things. We like those.
Word. Everybody out there in the digital.
Oops.
Oh, I could have grabbed the camera that had the phone holder on there, but oh, there's this. Ta-da!
Smart stuff.
I'm a genius.
You are.
No, actually, I'm 3 IQ points away from being a genius.
Nice. What is the actual like number for that?
It's like, I want to say 150.
150.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would love to get that tested someday.
I would like to get it redone, but then I feel like I would do worse now because I ain't been in school for a while. But I'd actually rather be closer to normal than 3 points away from genius. Like, they're like so close.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
That one. I've never even like tried to test it out. I would love to test it out just to see like where we range at.
There's ones online.
I can't trust online. I wouldn't want to do online.
Well, you can't trust it in general. That's the whole thing about the IQ test.
And that's why I'm so skeptical. I'm so skeptical.
But it's fun to, play
See.
their game.
That's right.
You know it's a fun quiz to take?
What's that?
Are you a sociopath?
Are you a sociopath?
I have a YouTube video coming out soon with me and EQ discussing that, and we actually take the test. Surprisingly, I'm not. I thought I at least had some tendencies.
You gotta watch out for the traits of that. What are some sociopath traits?
Well, it's a antisocial disorder.
Okay.
So that's one of the traits, and I'm very antisocial. Also,
you made great progress this year. Though. You made great progress this year.
Well, yeah, in doing it, I still don't like it though. You know what I mean? So it's a little different.
Gotta force it out there.
Yeah. So when I'm a-hole, guys, don't take it personally. I just
She's
don't
went back
like
to her natural form. She's went back to her natural form.
This is why I'm not social, because I'm abrasive.
That's right. Naturally like that. Just
Yeah.
naturally.
But yeah, so you should definitely. I forgot the site that I went on because I took a couple. One was kind of like, it was straight yes or no questions, and a lot of answers for me are in like more of a gray area. So I found one that had like 4 multiple choice options, and but they both said I'm not a sociopath, so that's good.
That's all that matters. And shout out to the sociopaths out there. Start opening your world up a little bit. We love you.
Shout out Edward Heitman. We took the sociopath test together here, and he wasn't a sociopath either.
There you go. Shout out
See,
Ed.
that's 2 non-sociopaths working at KXVS, guys. We're on a roll.
So we need your help, but please don't be a sociopath.
But okay, I did have a couple points I wanted to touch on today, and today is one of the days with people coming in right after me, I think. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys watching on social media noticed that YouTube was down yesterday for like an hour. People went crazy. Because I'm a big YouTube watcher.
That's YouTube too.
That's the majority of media I watch. I'll watch Netflix every once in a while, usually like when I'm going to bed, but I watch a lot of YouTube. And I just thought it was my phone, because my phone always be tripping every once in a while. So I was just like, okay. And I was answering a bunch of questions for like the upcoming event, so I was kind of busy. And then I actually seen Drex posted on Facebook. He was like, YouTube is down. I'm like, what? And I Googled it, and everybody's like, oh my God.
YouTube, you do not get a chance to do any type of maintenance or anything
No,
like that.
no.
YouTube, Google, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, y'all are not allowed to go down at all.
No maintenance time. At least without warning.
At least without no warning. They're going to have to send out like a PSA. Like let everybody know.
Send you a notification to the all your other social media apps. But I guess I couldn't find out exactly when, but sometime recently Pakistan tried to block access to YouTube for their country, and they did it wrong, so it made the whole site shut down. So people were thinking somebody was trying to censor something, or I don't know. It was a whole. YouTube won't tell anybody what happened, so who knows? Maybe it was some kind of breach.
That's crazy.
Maybe they got hacked like Facebook.
The whole country tried to shut off YouTube?
It tried to shut it out for its country. Like, Korea doesn't allow YouTube. There's a lot of those countries that have very strict laws as far as what they're, China.
No clue.
Yeah, there's countries out there that restrict access to certain information.
Man, hey, thank God for America, because, wow, what would we do if we...
That's a great segment into the next thing I wanted to talk about.
Shout out America.
Which is the Kanye-Trump meeting.
Kanye West and Donald Trump.
I know. A lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about that. But when I finally watched it, there was a couple key points that I found everyone should be able to relate to. And one of them was that even though Kanye wears the MAGA hat, he prefers the term "Make America Great" without the "again." And he wants to make America Great hats. And the goal for him is to have Colin Kaepernick and Donald Trump both, wearing Make America Great hats. And I think that was really profound, because his point is to bridge the gap between these two differing sides, because regardless of what your specific beliefs are, you live in America and you should want it to be great. You know what I mean? You just mentioned, America is great because of so many reasons already.
We got a lot of freedoms that we take for granted.
Right. And not... Did Facebook cut me off? No, just my phone. It still says still says we're broadcasting on Facebook, so hopefully.
The whole Kanye Trump thing. I'm personally it's crazy though. Watching how T.I. blew up over on Instagram about it, and seeing how some people blew up over about it. I was just man, that's kind of crazy, because I hold T.I. to a certain pedestal, because he was one of he's actually the first artist I ever spent money on a CD.
Right.
Urban Legend was the first CD I ever bought.
Right.
And Kanye West, College Dropout was the first album I ever wrote down the lyrics to.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the best of both worlds for me. So the fact that it was I felt like T.I. kind of trolled Kanye though, with the whole thing that he did on Instagram, how you would air it out on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not. The only thing I've seen about T.I. was he had made that video with the Melania Trump lookalike, but I don't know about the detail with him and Kanye on Twitter.
He went off on him on a whole a rant, basically saying Kanye, I give up. I'm not defending you no more. Just basically because he kept on trying to defend him every time everybody felt like Kanye West did something out of pocket. T.I. was always there to be oh no, well, give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a mad genius type of dude.
Right.
So T.I. was always doing that. After the last sit down, T.I. went to Instagram and let off a whole 10,000 word
rant.
A rant, yeah, that's what it was, a rant. And I was just at first I was man, Kanye is crazy. He is wild, and his friends are even disclaiming. I was wait, man, why is he airing him out like this online?
That's supposed to be your homie.
Exactly. It seemed our whole culture nowadays, it's okay to air people out online and stuff like that. So like even if somebody's going through drama with somebody, they'll go back years and years into their Instagram and Facebook and go delete pictures with somebody just because it's like, and that's somebody I never agree with that really.
Well, and the thing is too, like, either you can understand where Kanye's coming from, or you think he's going crazy.
That's right.
So if you're his friend and you think he's actually going through a mental thing, why would you do that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of homie is that you think, like, you think he's actually going through some mental issues, and then you're going to put him on blast? Like, that's why. If he is going through mental issues, that's why.
Yeah, for real. Cause
Facebook keep bumping me off the video. Hopefully it's letting you guys watch it. We just mentioned Trump, and Facebook's like, no, y'all can't be on here. I'm not even a Trump supporter, man. I'm just saying, can't we all get along? And Facebook's like, no.
None of that.
Not today.
None of that.
It's still saying that I'm broadcasting on Facebook, so hopefully it's just my phone service or something.
And your phone's connected to the computer and everything else?
My phone's not connected to the computer, but it's connected to the Voice of Stockton page, so
Voice of Stockton.
I get notified when we're live. But yeah, hopefully y'all seeing stuff out there. So that's basically what I wanted to say. Kanye, I feel like he is a genius, and that line between genius and insanity is very fine.
Kanye, don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge.
But if you take personal bias and opinion and emotion out of it and just listen to what he's saying, he's actually making some really good points.
Relevant points.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave that there. Please be nice to each other in the comments. Okay, Paul says that it hasn't stopped airing on their side. Cool. They can just keep kicking me off. That's fine.
Thank you, Paulus.
But,
shout out, Paulus, PC Clark.
Right. If you guys feel the need to debate this in the comments, please keep it respectful.
Yeah, because
I will delete.
We're not Trump and we're not Kanye, so don't even talk to us like we did. And
right.
You please don't feel like you're their family member, because you're probably not. So
right.
And that's a lot of the things with celebrities. You know, people take these people into their worlds and into their heads, and you want to defend people. You want to talk about people, and sometimes it's like that person like is living a whole nother life.
They don't even care.
They really don't.
Stop caping for people that you don't know.
That's pretty much it right there.
Most people don't need the cape that you think they do. So moving on to my next point, I wanted to touch on professionalism in the music creator, entertainer industry. Just because, especially here in Stockton, where we don't have a system in place where, you know, that can develop artists to a really big platform, most of our people don't get very far. And I'll touch on this point bigger later, but the ones that do aren't really respected within our community. But I've just noticed in throwing shows, and not even just in throwing shows, but in listening to my significant other's experience and touring and whatnot, a lot of artists aren't professional about how they deal with stuff in the industry. And it's weird because people claim all the time that they're serious about their craft and they want to, you know, they want to take it somewhere and whoop-de-whoop, but they'll throw in excuses that you would never use for a 9-to-5 job. You know what I mean? Like, basically, if you're trying to do this professionally, you need to treat it like a 9-to-5 job. You can't be calling out for whatever reason or just not showing up or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, basically, anything that you wouldn't do working at Best Buy or wherever, you shouldn't do in regards to your bookings, and that's paid and unpaid gigs, because you have to
start somewhere.
You have to build your platform. And what a lot of artists don't realize is a lot of times unpaid gigs will benefit you in other ways, whether it's, you know, the people that you're on the show with, that you're networking with, or just opening opportunities from the audience, people's, you know, getting out there, being seen.
That's right.
So I don't want to say advice, but just always be as professional as you can in any capacity. And I'm guilty of that myself. That's why I have to have somebody like this kind of be a buffer for me, for that abrasiveness that I mentioned.
You are my buffer, definitely. You know that too. Like, oh man, shout out to you and Abby, because you, Abby, Paulus, people like y'all always remind me, just like, hey, we expect to see you here. You gonna pull up, right? I'm like, yep, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying, type of thing. And I love that we hold each other accountable, though. Mm-hmm. And with a lot of independent artistry, it's not a support system of accountability all the time, you know?
Right, yeah.
So going to that, like, I'm an independent artist. I got me and my crew, and they say, like, I'm the leader of my crew or whatever. Like, who's going to ride me to make sure that the crew pulls up or something like that?
Right.
So it's like you got to be your biggest fan, mm-hmm. type of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because it's hard at first, but how you said, with the unpaid gig, it all starts with the unpaid gigs, though. Mm-hmm. It shows how serious you are.
Right. And
that's how you get to the paid gigs, you know?
Well, and that's the important part, because it's basically like an audition, or I guess an audition, because it's like, if that's, you know, the paid gigs are always going to be, you're going to be held to a higher caliber. You know what I mean? So if I've learned that I can't rely on you, why would I book you for something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. People feel entitled, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's, back in the day, you'd have to be doing free gigs for years before you get something paid. Like now, because of the internet and everything, it's not like that, but we still all have to pay our dues. Like, I was doing promotions and whatnot for free for 10 years before I had made any kind of money, and I still barely make money doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And you're still just doing it for the love. You can see it though, and that's why with this independent artistry, stuff like this, you get to see who's really in love with the craft, mm-hmm. who's just doing it for the moment, mm-hmm. who's doing it for hype, because mm-hmm. you know, a lot of it comes from not getting paid.
Yeah,
you got to be able to be like, hey, I'm a humble person.
Yeah,
you know what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody called me up to do it for free. Appreciate the opportunity. I'm there. Mm-hmm. If not, it's kind of like, oh, I got other stuff going on, and we all got lives, of course, and stuff like that. But it's like when you continuously see somebody that's like, I don't want to do it. I'm okay. Mm-hmm. I'll wait till I get paid. It's like, man, it's almost like your priorities are kind of twisted.
Right.
You know, like you lose that authentic underground feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Like the underground artists are always the ones that's why the industry and underground is so different, mm-hmm. you know? Because the industry, they have that whole team of people looking out for them.
Yeah.
Underground artists, they're just I'm giving it my all. I don't know.
You're playing a bunch of positions.
Yep. Gotta be your...
Now, I do agree with that, but at the same time, I recognize that there are people at a certain, like, Awkwards. I would never expect Awkwards to come do nothing for free. Mm-hmm. Right. You know what I mean? Because he's right. Like there might be, I'm sure there is like some kind of like event that would appeal to them personally so much that they would be willing to do it. Yep. But chances are they're going to be throwing that event themselves. You know what I mean? Like, so yes, it is. There in this industry, there are different tiers to it. You know what I mean? And I guess it's putting your ego aside and realizing, wow, in your mind you're at this tier. And this is for myself too, you know what I mean? Because in some aspects I'm at this tier, and to some people I'm just not. And I have to be okay with when somebody's above me, that means I'm below them on the tier. You know what I mean? So that I'm the one that would be doing something for free. Like if Grouch called me up to throw him a show, I'm going to do that for free.
We did.
Because it's exposure for me, you know what I mean? It's an opportunity. And that's the thing, like you said, if somebody comes at you with an opportunity, you'll go for it for free. But it has to be an opportunity. It can't just be, hey, come do this thing that you've been doing for 2 years for free. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I said 2 years is my limit right there. Right. I got 2 years of doing anything. Hit me up. We got a 2-year mark starting yesterday. That's the truth, though.
Yeah, because, I mean, I have people hit me up all the time, like, hey, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? And it's like, to an extent, like, yeah, if you just need me to hit somebody up for you or blah, 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 like, I'm not at a point where I got to charge you for my connections. You know what I mean? Unless it's
next year this time.
Unless it's higher level connections.
Right.
But I've noticed a lot of times people want help. They want me to do everything. You know what I mean? And I've learned how to be like, either pay me or no. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's not my thing. Like I said, I create the events that I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Half the time I don't make nothing, I'll mix metaphors.
Right.
But I want to have a freestyle competition in Stockton, so I do it, you know.
And Stockton needed it. You could tell from the turnout, like the turnout right there, that goes back to the points where you could see who shows up. Even like, I believe I've competed once, mm-hmm. but I've been at every one. Mm-hmm. Because mm-hmm. it's just, there's some type of, it's an environment, you know? Right. People like you, people like Drex, y'all are really like putting on the events that people wish were going on mm-hmm. a while ago. And now it's almost like, hey, it's going on, no excuses on why you shouldn't come. Especially if it's, you know, cheap prices to get in, stuff like that. You get to meet a plethora of artists who are people that are getting paid from shows to right. people who are barely doing open mics. Right.
But one of the most beautiful things I've seen come from it is people going home after and collabing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And that's, you know, that's one of the main things is it's networking. You can find artists like, oh, I like what he was rapping about. That's similar to what I'd be rapping about. Like, let's get together and do something. Or his style's vastly different from mine. Let's hop on a track so we can balance each other out. Like,
that's true, because you get such a variety of different artists at every type of event. And that's why even going back into like Paulus Clark, I met him a couple months ago at like the open mics and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And this dude's a photographer. And like now, like slowly but surely, like Paulus be doing, like now we do karaoke too on Thursdays at mm-hmm. Superfish. Mm-hmm. So Paulus is like always one of the main guys. Like, oh yeah, I'll do a song. Way out of his comfort zone than before, you know?
Paulus is, I don't think Paulus has missed one of my events yet. And I appreciate that support for right. for sure.
Gotta appreciate the people that come every time.
Watch, you're not being left behind once we start climbing. Your efforts do not go unseen.
We love you, Paulus. We love you, brother.
Hold on, let me shut this.
So that's I really do believe that being professional in the industry before you blown up or after, you gotta make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you're just there. And that's why being coordinators, nobody wants to hear the day after excuses, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like the day after, they can't pick up the phone during the event, but right when it's over, you get the missed calls and hey, sorry I couldn't pull ups.
You know, and one thing I learned at the discussion panel we had for after the October Fresh, and you guys missed some really dope information. Tiger and Kenton filmed it, so I'm hoping they'll put that up soon. But we have an artist from out here, Pismo, who, as I was telling you before, has really gone Above and Beyond. No, that was Tease. Pismo is he's a producer and an artist. But he's had his music in movies. He's done like all kinds of stuff. He lived in New York and Bay Area for like 25 years. Just came back to Stockton because he wants to help his city get, develop a system.
Almost kind of same thing with Drex. Drex like
exactly. Nice. But I think this is where I was going with this. I feel like I was going somewhere different initially. Oh yes, one thing I learned from him was when people do that, just handle it more how you handle it than how my initial reaction to handle it.
Hey, good morning, Renee.
Good morning.
She is, yeah, I feel you though, because how he did that yesterday.
Yeah, not to go into specifically too much, but my initial thing, and this comes from dealing with my personal life before I started doing this professionally, so I'm realizing like I can't use those same like not triggers, but defense mechanisms.
That's all it is.
Like, what you doing? But my initial gut reaction is like, okay, that, and then you're cut. You know what I mean?
Couldn't hear you.
Oh.
I didn't see. I was like seeing a whole blur of guys.
Hey, good morning.
I was like, who's in there? I was gonna say I have tickets for Tequila Fest.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna leave to
Okay. Okay. And that's Saturday, right? What is that, Saturday? So this just in. We got 2 tickets to Tequila Fest this Saturday.
Tequila.
I'm gonna have to figure out something y'all got to do to win these. How about
whoever wins the battle of Rochelle Boat.
I'll post something on Instagram. It'll be one of those like tag 3 friends and share and blah blah blah. But I'm gonna post it through the KXVS thing.
Hashtag.
And I also have some bracelets to Zombie Walk that you guys can win. Now that I think about it, all right, yeah, there's gonna be some contests going on later today, so be on the lookout. But what I was getting at is, and it's funny because I actually learned this from Drex as well. Back in January when he was on here with Renee and Marcellus, he was saying how people would basically burn bridges with him when he was like first doing his stuff, but instead of just cutting them off, he just kind of, like, I can't say like just completely ignore it, because in a business standpoint, you can't let somebody screw you twice. But
it's almost like a forgive but don't forget.
Exactly, and how that allowed him to like boost himself later on when like he ended up needing them for something, and because he was already on the high ground, he was in a better place. So that's how I'm going to be approaching things. And when I can't, I'm just not going to say nothing, and Detroit will respond.
I'll be her buffer, yeah. If you ever get to talk from me, that means that you got Chance all that stuff right now, and she ain't about to communicate. But that's crazy that you mentioned Drexley told you that, because actually I coordinated the show for him, I believe, like sometime this summer, one of the Boba Arts and Beats shows, and I did a whole lineup, talking to everybody for like 3 or 4 days. Everybody's like, I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. And then like the day of, like I believe like a quarter of the artists showed up.
Yeah.
And after the show, I was kind of hot about it, because I was like, man, these people are like lying to me face to face, and I'm talking to people, and they're giving me their word they're going to show up. Nobody really came. Drex, I had mentioned it to him. I was like, man, how do I take this? He just was like, Detroit, don't take it personal.
Right.
He was just like, just remember it, but he said, don't forget it. He's like, he put it so eloquently, though. He put it very smoothly. He just was like, yeah, man, don't take it personal. Remember, it's going to happen again. He was like, so you might need them again. So, and then from that day on, that changed my whole perspective to where how I could talk to artists eloquently, even though like the artists that did you wrong in the show, they still feel some type of way, like like
everybody's the star in their own
mind.
Yeah.
And Drex hit us both with that great perspective of everybody, people say they're going to be somewhere when they're not going to be there, but don't take it personal when they're not. So that's why I was like.
And not only that, but it's going to hurt them in the long run. You know what I mean? Because, like, yeah, flaking on Drex, he's a really dope videographer that a lot of times will, if you've supported him, he'll be like, yeah, come on, let's do that music video, or I'm gonna put you in a commercial, or blah blah blah. You know, he's very he reciprocates the support. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Which is something Marco and I talked about last night. Y'all go check the special interview I did. I think I posted it under Sabor Latino, because it was 9 o'clock at night when I got here, and I had been here already since 8 o'clock in the morning.
Living in here.
I had time to go do some laundry and came back, but we had a really great conversation about some upcoming events. But that was one of the things we talked about, is reciprocating support from artist to artist. You know what I mean?
And one real quick, big shout out to Chaz real quick, because like I said, I just be pulling up to Mixed Metaphors just to come and watch, and all of a sudden she's like, hey, Troy, could you host it? And like, I'm like, man, I wasn't even expecting that. So I'm still like, that's why I still like, I haven't been on my
that's the
social
thing.
media
You're not even just hosting it. You're running it.
Right,
it's gonna be the first one. I'm not there, y'all.
Yeah.
So any of my haters that been wanting to come through, now's the time. No.
If you had a problem with Chance, you may want to come to
I won't
her
be
event.
there.
She's
I
not
won't
gonna
be
at
there.
this one. I'll be taking the place of Chance / Abby. I'll be there.
Yeah.
So that's what. Yeah, and that came from strictly supporting with an open heart, not being like, hey, I'm going for this reason, anything like that. Just literally going because I'm like, it's a bunch of creative artists around here. Let me go see what everybody's talking about today. Let's see how it's going today. And every time, Mixed Metaphors is always super dope. That's what I love about it, because it's always organic.
Yeah.
Nobody's begging for a bunch of support.
Right.
But the support is always there, and it's always unanimous. Like, it's real big. It's all just so organic. That's why I love these Stockton events that's going on.
And it's going to be at Blackwater again, and that was a lot of people's favorite venue for it, just because the atmosphere in the space just fits
Very
it.
intimate. I love it. So intimate and, like, face-to-face with everybody. Yeah, that's an awesome venue.
Yeah, and then be on the lookout in January, because I'm going to be having my championship event with all the winners from the previous months. It's going to be pretty dope. But did also want to mention the day before, because, okay, Mixed Metaphors, that's this Friday the 19th at Blackwater, 7 to 10. Sign-ups are basically like until 7 p.m. that day. So, and that's another thing, because I used to book ahead of time, and then people would just not show up. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to just show up. Just show up
and be in the competition.
And then, yeah, that's how you get in. Show up. I'm tired of saving places for people not there. But, so yes, that's Friday. Thursday, though, we're having a show at Zap Zone. It's going to be Stockton's Stop of the 2 and 1 tour. That's Double Dragon and One Word. Now, any of you guys that came out to the Blueprint show would have seen Double Dragon. They were who opened up directly before him. Really dope duo. Like, I realized, I noticed they really had the crowd engaged. Like, they're. How would you describe their music?
It's definitely like almost like that indie hip hop, to where they're not trying to be like nobody in the industry.
Yeah.
It's definitely like independent hip hop. They make their own type of music.
Yeah, it's almost its own genre.
Yeah, and it's like that. I always get like that underground feel with it, but it's like mixed with like dirty rock and roll, like
yeah, that cat was playing some kind of crazy thing up there.
And her playing instruments, and they're definitely like off the wall type of people, because they do a lot of characterist artists and stuff like that. I follow them on Instagram, and I got their CD. I listened to their CD a few times, and these dudes, they're just like total, like, that's their thing though. Right, they love to be off the wall, and they do it well.
Right. See, and that's
Shout
another
out Blueprint
thing.
too.
Yeah, Blueprint. Don't watch this. No, I'm just kidding. Skeptic of Double Dragon is actually booking agent in Bay Area.
Oh, he's a booking agent also?
He's Blueprint's booking agent.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's the thing, like coming out and supporting this show as an artist opens up doors for you for paid gigs in Bay Area. You know what I mean? That's why the reason I won't be at Mixed Metaphors on Friday is I'm going to be at a networking event in Sacramento. Yeah, for, to network with venues and whatnot out there, because I would hope as an artist your goal is not just to play gigs in Stockton.
Right. I'm going to be the best local artist there's ever been in the world.
There's probably somebody out there that's them.
Their thing, yeah.
But I know for most of y'all it's not, so don't front. It would behoove us to have, because I already have some venues out in Modesto, so it's like that would be a dope little tour: Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, a couple places in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
NorCal tour.
Yeah. But not only that, but one of my main goals is to make Stockton a destination site for people that are on tour. You know what I mean? Like, Atmosphere is coming. He's going to be like right in Sacramento and right like in Fresno and right around everywhere but here. Now if I could buy March, make it to where Atmosphere wants to come to Stockton, that would be dope. But I don't got my hopes up that high. But that's what I want, is for them not to pass us up. You know what I mean? Sacramento ain't that far to drive to a show, but it'd be dope if it was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, again, that would open up doors for artists. If you're opening up for somebody like Atmosphere, you get to network with that person. You network with their management people. You know what I mean? Like, if you're dope and they see you, they're going to be like, oh, okay, I want to book them for an opener in the future. You know what I mean? Like, so that's one of the main goals. So come out on October 18th to the 2-in-1 tour, Zap Zone.
Yeah, October 19th at Blackwater.
But also on the 18th, stop by Superfish for Drex. Drex and Prodigy, yeah. Drex is going to be airing some of his short films, I believe.
Nice.
And Prodigy is doing her, I don't think she's doing live art, but yeah, she's displaying her art. And she's a digital artist as well as photographer. She's got some really dope stuff.
Very talented. Very talented.
And then I believe drinks will be 25% off that day, and there's no cover. Oh, for the 2-in-1 tour, there is a $7 cover. But you're not only seeing Double Dragon, who is dope, and One Word. Go check my Instagram.
Is
my
Abby
last
hosting
post.
it, or?
Yeah, Abby's going to be hosting it.
Yeah.
One Word's a really dope MC. I'm glad. I didn't know of him before Chad reached out to me about the tour, but after looking him up, he's really dope. I'm excited to see him.
Nice.
But we also have Braxy, Salarosa, and Better Days performing.
Nice.
It's going to be an eclectic array of rock, hip-hop, and the fusion of the both. So go by Superfish. Afterwards, come down to Zap Zone. And it's going to be a really dope show.
Tour with Braxy, Salarosa, Abby
Better
hosting.
Days, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah. So for $7, you get to see 5 different acts.
That sounds like an event, like packed.
Yeah.
Like an event inside of an event right there.
Right. And on the 26th, we're having some more artists come out to Zap Zone. Renee is doing the run-through. Because we're having a bunch of artists that are on tour run through Stockton.
Oh, nice.
Double entendre.
Nice.
The run through.
That's so cool.
So, yeah. And then, of course, the 27th is the function.
The 27th, the function. And the hours are switched out from noon to 5 p.m., right?
Yeah, to noon. From 10 to 5 to noon to 5. Don't show up at 10 because ain't nobody going to be there. Or we'll probably be there, but we'll just be setting up.
Hey, come out at 10 o'clock if you feel like volunteering. If you want to volunteer, we always need that down here at the radio station.
That's true. Man, that's true. I get to come at 10 instead of 8 this time, huh?
The 2 hours of extra sleep right there.
It's only a 10-hour day instead of a 12-hour day this time. That's dope. No.
I did want to bring something up real quick. I was thinking. So I was talking to my boy yesterday. We were talking about sleep. And it's crazy how, like, with sleep and stuff like that, like, he said he can get up to, I'm like a 4-hour sleep, 5-hour sleep guy, and I'm up for the rest of the day. He told me he can't do without, like, he needs 10 hours.
Dang.
Close to 10 hours of sleep. And I said, dude, you got the body of an 85-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's, he said he has, like, a sleep apnea type of thing, though. Like,
Well, that explains it.
so I'm like, man.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess the average is what, 8, supposedly.
I've
but
never
I wonder.
known nobody that sleep 8 hours.
Yeah, unless they're on some sort of medication or something.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I usually sleep about 4 hours and then wake up.
I could tell because last night I got a message from Chaz. It was super late. This morning I got a message from Chaz. I'm like, did she sleep? I don't think Chaz went to sleep last night, y'all. Shout out to the 48 hours. They just be up for 2 days straight. I take a 5-minute nap and I'm back up for another 2 days straight.
No, my thing is I'll sleep for like 4 hours, and so I'll wake up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, which is too early. Yeah, but I don't. There's like no reason for me to, so I just lay in bed, and then I'll finally fall back to sleep at like 6:30-ish, 6:30, and then gotta be up at like 7:30 to be here. That's why my show always starts like 10 minutes late, y'all.
She's sleeping when she, like, the last minute she gotta get, she's up, like, right there. That's so real right there. Yeah. So I'm like, oh no, I'm trying to work on my sleep.
Right.
Because they say, like, the less you sleep, the older you feel, or something like that.
You know, the only time I was able to get like full 8 hours sleep was I was living in the Bay Area, and I was canvassing for a living. So I was like walking door to door, up and down hills for 8 hours a day. And then I'd take a bus back from Frisco to like the little city of Pinole. And then it was like an hour walk up and down hills from the bus stop to where I was staying. So after like 10 hours of,
city hiking.
10 hours of that a day, I slept.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
But it's like, most of the time, I don't have time to exert myself like that. You know what I mean? Most of what I do is at a desk. So I need to be one of those people that gets like the treadmill desk type thing.
Yeah, I was just talking about that today. I was like sitting down, like, I remember the commercials and like stuff when we were kids. They have like somebody sitting in like a lazy boy, and then underneath their feet they got like a little child. He's sitting out eating a big old dinner and a chocolate cake right after, but he's down there working out his legs.
Yeah,
he had the buffest calves in the world.
That's a little counterintuitive, I believe.
Yes. And as a trainer, I see that all the time because we have like certain machines and stuff like that in the gym. So it's like you can just work out half your body. And I'm like, this dude walking around with the most fit legs in the world.
And a beer belly.
And a beer belly. And I'm like, I don't think that's how we're supposed to be looking. Right?
One of the YouTubers I watch, it's like one of the family vlog things. She just bought one of those for the same reason, because she edits all the time. You know, y'all don't realize how long editing takes, even just simple videos, especially when your computer's slow. But Lance McCann is already here for his show, so we're going to be wrapping up. And again, thank you, Lance, for the donation to the function. Anybody else, we're always accepting donations. The bigger and better we can make the event, the bigger and better it'll be. So if you can donate your services, donate, if you're a restaurant, you can afford to donate food, anything like that, please, we would be more than appreciative. And we're a nonprofit, so you can write it off. So again, that is the 27th. 19th, go by Blackwater. 18th, go by Superfish and Zap Zone. So to close us out, I am going to read the horoscopes, and you're a Scorpio, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Scorpio, if a friend or family member asks you to sacrifice some of your free time in the coming weeks, try to comply. They wouldn't ask this of you unless they really needed your help, and chances are you'll get a lot out of being there for them. They need to delegate some major responsibilities, and you should take it as a compliment that they came to you first. In your work life, things are about to get busy, so you might want to clean up your work area to get ready for the onslaught.
Okay. I will make time for people, and I will clean up for work.
That's just funny though, because that's exactly what I did. Like, I needed you, a delegated mixed metaphor. You already were appreciative, so you're already doing it. Yeah. I swear, I feel like that, because I read these from astrology.com, and half the time I feel like they're like a day late. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was great advice for yesterday.
Yesterday's advice. They're dealing with slow computers too over there.
For real.
It's been uploaded since yesterday.
Man. So for all my other Pisces out there, a few things come your way today. Test your flexibility, but if you think for a moment or two, you'll figure out what they're going to be. There will be few surprises. You're prepared for anything, but the same can't be said for the folks around you right now. The worry warts will be worrying, and the hand wringers will be rigging. So you may need to step in and calm them with your flawless confidence. If you can handle this, they'll be able to also. Flawless confidence? No.
It's underneath. You gotta wipe it off. Wipe it off.
That ain't here. That ain't here.
Wipe it off. It's under there somewhere.
But again, thank you so much, Detroit, for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good morning and rise and shine, everybody out there. God bless y'all.
Yes, this was Rise and Shine 209 with your girl Ches Day and Detroit Sirius P.
Yep.
Wishing you peace, love, and light on this beautiful day. And I will see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Hey, Jasper, look! It's old meathead.
Hello, and welcome to the Rough